everybody, and welcome back to Gardens and Crystals with me, Wesley Peterson. And today I have another one of those update videos for you. And this time I want to show you what's going on with my beautiful Philodendron Florida Ghost. Now, I did a video where I introduced my King Monstera deliciosa up here. And in that video, I repotted that plant, and then I just said that there are a couple of plants around the edge, and I pointed out my Philodendron Florida Ghost had one big leaf and had been sitting there for now a year, near enough, and hadn't done anything for me. And then I all of a sudden thought, okay, I'm going to have a closer look at this plant. There must be something going on because it looks like the leaf is starting to turn a little bit yellow after near enough a year in this pot, looking like it's doing absolutely nothing. So I thought, okay, something's wrong. I'm going to get in, inspect the roots, repot this plant into a terracotta pot and just let it carry on and see if I am eventually going to get a plant that is more than one leaf. But this leaf, oh my, the leaf is huge. I mean, the leaf is huge, 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 and it's done really well for me. This is a plant that I bought online and received in the post in a big box, and I've done a whole video on that, an unboxing video. I'll put the link above so you can go back and see that video of when I got this plant until now. So let me bring this plant into frame because you are going to get the shock of your lives, because I did. So now I am purposely holding this leaf lower down so you can't see the pot at the moment, because I just want you to enjoy this big, beautiful leaf. So look at this. If we should do the head test, you can see this leaf on this philodendron is very, very big. Very big, and it's still beautiful. Look at it closer up. Now, isn't that amazing? It just fills up the whole screen of this video very easily because it is enormous. And well, I've just been enjoying this lovely big leaf. I mean, I couldn't believe it when I did that unboxing video and I saw the size of this leaf. I was just amazed. And to think that one leaf with one petiole has stayed alive like this on its own for almost a year, and I haven't touched it until now after I did my Monstera deliciosa video. And then look at the pot, because it's not just one leaf anymore. It actually had produced a new leaf, but the leaf was kind of wrapped around at the bottom under the soil, kind of half stuck and couldn't get up. So now I've relieved it. You're going to see that this plant is growing for me. So look at this. You can see there is a leaf coming out at the bottom here, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And I'm not sure, there's the stem you can see kind of bumping up and down and around where this was stuck under the soil. And you can see it was under the soil because it's very bright white, creamy colored. But there is a leaf coming out, and it looks really, really good. And I am just so pleased. So I repotted this plant into this lovely little terracotta pot. A smaller pot. This plant has hardly any roots still, a very tiny root ball. So it didn't need the big pot it was in. So I put it into a smaller pot, a breathable pot. Beautiful aerating soil with bark and a good potting mix and perlite and liquor balls and all the things I usually put in there. And since I took this little stem out of the soil, it's grown up and straightened up even more. And the mother leaf is still looking wonderful. So we are finally on the way to growing out this beautiful Philodendron Florida Ghost. And I am so ecstatic about this. This was another surprise. I've been getting in there and sorting out my plants and putting them in terracotta and making sure that everything's lovely and happy. And I am just discovering beautiful things as I go around. And I am so thankful for this. I'm so happy that this plant that arrived in the post with this leaf, completely undamaged and beautiful, and I have to go further back so you can enjoy the whole thing. So there we go. That is absolutely gorgeous. So, care tips for this plant. A good aerating soil with the ingredients I just said and any other ingredients you use. You can use any kind of aroid soil that you have around where you are. Just make sure the soil is aerating. Never let the plant sit in water. This plant doesn't like to be overwatered. This plant actually likes to dry out between waterings to make sure that you're not overwatering and so that the plant doesn't get root rot. But you also need to make sure that you don't underwater the plant too much so that the roots dry out and crisp up and there's no root system left. So there is a balance of keeping this plant nice and moist and then let it dry out and then moist again. So I would suggest that you get yourself a moisture gauge and check the soil so you can check all the way through what's going on. So that's what I've been doing with this one. Now it's in a terracotta pot. I did have it in plastic before for, as I said, almost a year. And on the top, I actually had a layer of thicker, bigger pieces of wood bark, and I think that was what was stopping the new baby leaf from being able to get through. So I'm so glad I went in to check this plant to see what's going on, because now the new stem can start growing up and out, and this plant can start growing up for me. This plant likes to be in bright indirect light for the best circumstances. It will grow quicker. It can take lower light situations, but it will grow slower, and maybe you will get smaller leaves. But if you want to get gigantic big leaves like this one has, you're really going to have to give it lovely bright indirect light. Never bright direct light. You're going to burn out these leaves very quick. They're very thin and they don't like bright direct light. These plants can get bugs, they can get thrips and all sorts of other things that we know about. Spray them over with neem oil, clean them off with dishwasher detergent and so forth. Take them to the shower first before you do anything else and just spray over everything or wipe them off with water and then go in and use whatever you want to use to try and get rid of bugs. This one has been absolutely fine for me a whole year and there's nothing on the leaf, so it has been doing really, really well because there have been plants around it that have had bugs on them, and this one has been very good. It's been fine. This plant does well in normal house temperatures and normal house humidity, but if you want to get the best out of the plant, high humidity would be best. So anything that's like 60%, this plant will be very happy with that. It will grow out and flush out very well. It's an easy plant to propagate when it starts growing. You'll see the aerial roots along the stem. You can go in and prune back and put that in water or in soil and keep it moist, or sphagnum moss, or whichever way you want to propagate it. You can do air layering. It's a very easy plant to propagate in that respect. But overall, this plant is actually very easy to take care of. Just make sure it gets a decent amount of light, not overwatered, airy soil. Fertilize it when it's growing with a liquid organic fertilizer, I'd say. Do not overdo the fertilizing with this plant. It won't like it and it won't appreciate it and it won't do better. So only fertilize the plant when it's growing, and a slightly smaller amount maybe than the dosage that you find on the package. Never more and never too often. Once a month or something like that in the growing season. That's enough to keep this plant happy. Otherwise, water it and keep it happy, and you can change out the soil every year or every other year if you wish to give the plant new fresh soil to keep it growing, if you don't want to be fertilizing it too much. So I just wanted to make this video now because how could I not be over the moon, excited and happy to find out that my lovely Philodendron Florida Ghost is finally putting out a new stem and a leaf or a petal or whatever you want to call this thing, because it looks really weird at the moment. Just have another quick look at that. I'm astonished. I am so happy. Oh. And I'm wondering if the person that I bought this plant off online, if she's watching my videos still, because if you are, this is what's happened. This plant is absolutely gorgeous, and I thank you for giving me the opportunity to get my hands on a Philodendron Florida Ghost. So that's all I have for you for this video, this update video, and I hope you're enjoying your wonderful Philodendron Florida Ghosts. And if not, Go out there and find yourself one somewhere. I hadn't seen any with a leaf as big as this before, so I'm telling you, I was so pleased when I found this plant, and I hope the new leaves come out and they're going to be just as big and beautiful. Imagine it when they come out and they're as big as this and they come out that lovely creamy white colour. That will be a sight to behold. So I'm really hoping I'm going to get to that phase soon. Well, this leaf decided to grow much quicker than I thought it was going to, so I've decided to fast forward to the future and show you this beautiful new leaf already instead of waiting until another video, because I'm so excited about this. Anyway, the first video shows you the leaf at the time of taking the video. So that is the new shoot coming out, and then it goes on and shows that growing a little bit more. And then I have another picture showing the leaf as it grows up and out, and you can see it's this lovely white creamy colour with these kind of reddy tones in the stem and around the edges. It's very nice. And then the leaf actually grows up more, and you can see that as it's starting to unfurl, that there is a second leaf. A second leaf coming out at the same time. So my plant is just going at it now. It's absolutely fantastic. After waiting so long for some action on this plant, it's finally taken off. And you saw, I put it into a new terracotta pot and watered it and refreshed it, and it just seems to have worked. This plant now, in the space of only 3.5 weeks, has unfurled its first Florida Ghost leaf that is absolutely creamy white and beautiful. Just what you expect on this type of plant. Now look at this, nearly completely unfurled, this beautiful little leaf, and the other leaf on the way out already. I think this is going to grow really, really fast now. So I've just given you a glimpse into the future. Let's go back and end my video. Anyway, thank you very much once again for watching Gardens and Crystals with me, Wesley Peterson. Please remember to like, subscribe and hit the bell so you know when my next video will be uploaded. And I will see you again very, very soon. Goodbye.